More than 280 people have lost their lives on these roads. Yet every year, when the roads close, hundreds of riders return to race them again. No purpose-built circuit, no forgiving runoff, just ordinary public roads pushed to extraordinary speeds. This is the Isle of Man, a tiny island where 5 legendary motorcycle races are held on the same 37.73-mile mountain course. 219 corners, stone walls, houses, blind crests, and mistakes that can change lives in an instant. The TT, the deadliest race on Earth, riders hitting 200 miles per hour from stone walls. The Manx Grand Prix, built for underdogs just as unforgiving. The Southern 100, so short and intense, many riders say it demands even greater concentration. And the classic TT and pre-TT classic, where decades-old machines still face the exact same unforgiving roads. And along the way, crashes that didn't just end lives, they changed the course of motorcycle racing forever. This is the full story of the Isle of Man's most legendary and most dangerous races. Before we go any further, if you're new here, hit like and subscribe. It genuinely motivates us to keep bringing you stories like this. And drop your opinion in the comments. Let's talk about the most legendary and most terrifying race on the planet, the Isle of Man TT. How it all began. Early 1900s. Britain falls in love with the motorcycle, but the UK slaps a 20 miles per hour speed limit on every road. No room to push machines to the limit. So on May 28, 1907, organisers packed up and left mainland Britain entirely for a tiny island in the Irish Sea, the Isle of Man. And the Manx government said yes to something no one else in Britain would allow: full speed, no limit racing on public roads. That yes changed motorsport forever. The course that became a monster. The first race ran on a tame 15-mile course. But in 1911 everything changed. Racing moved to the Snaefell mountain course, still used today. 37.73 miles, 219 corners, real public roads, stone walls, houses, trees, blind hilltops. No runoff, no gravel traps. One mistake means hitting something that doesn't move. No room for error. None. That's what made the TT the deadliest race in motorsport history. The numbers. Since 1911, more than 280 people have died on this course. Riders, sidecar passengers, marshals, even spectators. And it's not just history. The deaths have kept coming, right up to recent years. A timeline of tragedy. 1911. The first death. Victor Surridge dies during practice near Glen Helen, the first fatality on the mountain course, before the race even officially begins. 1970. The year that shocked everyone. 6 riders die in a single year, the worst death toll the TT had ever seen at that point. 1972. The crash that changed motorsport history. Gilberto Parlotti, close friend of racing legend Giacomo Agostini, is killed in fog and rain near the veranda section. Agostini is devastated. He vows never to race the TT again and keeps that promise. His decision sends shockwaves through the sport. By 1976, top world championship riders start boycotting the TT. In 1977, it's officially stripped of its world championship status. 1989, 5 lives in 1 year, 5 riders killed in a single season, the second worst year in TT history. 2016, history repeats itself. Almost 30 years later, 5 more riders die during practice and race week. Proof the course hasn't gotten any safer. 2022, the deadliest year ever. 5 deaths in 1 year, the worst toll since 1989, second only to 1970's record 6. Among them, father-son sidecar duo Roger and Bradley Stockton, killed together at a section nicknamed A Goes Leap. Also lost that year, Mark Purslow, Davey Morgan, and sidecar driver Cesar Chanel. 2023, another life lost. Spanish rider Raúl Torres Martinez dies in the Super Twin race, crashing in the deadly Alpine section. The turning point, 2025. In 2025, the TT and Manx Grand Prix saw 0 competitor deaths, genuinely historic for a race with this history. Note, 2024's TT itself was fatality-free, but the Manx Grand Prix that same year still claimed 1 life. rider Luis O'Regan, in a crash at Kate's cottage. The reason for the improvement: GPS tracking on every rider, instant black flag systems, and faster medical response along the course. It doesn't erase 280+ deaths, but it proves even the world's most dangerous race can get a little safer, without losing what makes it legendary. Not every race here is a solo fight. Since 1923, sidecar racing has been one of the island's most brutal team traditions. It looks like a normal bike with an extra wheel. It's not. A sidecar outfit doesn't lean into corners. It relies on two people moving as one. The driver handles steering, braking, throttle. The passenger, nicknamed the monkey, has the harder job. They throw their body across the machine, sometimes hanging completely off the side at speeds near 120 miles per hour, just to keep the outfit balanced through corners. Now do that for 38 miles, 219 corners, stone walls inches away, one mistimed shift in body weight, the whole machine goes unstable. That's why sidecar TT is called one of the greatest displays of teamwork in motorsport. Victory belongs to two minds reacting as one, but the risk is shared too. In 2022, Roger Stockton and his son Bradley were killed together at Ago's Leap, father and son, racing the same machine, chasing the same dream. It became one of the darkest moments in TT history. And yet, sidecar teams keep coming back, because the mountain course demands something rare: total trust. Here, you don't just need to be a great rider, you need to become one machine, one team, one mind. Now let's talk about the Manx Grand Prix, a race that runs on the exact same mountain course as the TT, but tells a completely different story, born from exclusion. Here's the thing about the TT. By the early 1920s, it had become a professionals' game. Big factory teams, big sponsors, big machines. The privateers, riders racing on their own budget, with no factory backing, simply couldn't compete. They'd show up, race their hearts out, and still finish nowhere near the front. So in 1923, organizers created something new: the Manx Amateur Road Races. The idea was simple: give ordinary riders, privateers, and amateurs a race of their own. No factory teams standing in their way, just riders and the mountain course. In 1930, the race got a new name, the Manx Grand Prix, and that's the name it still carries today. It runs every August or September, just a few weeks after the TT wraps up, almost like the mountain never gets a break. Same course, same danger. Here's what makes the Manx GP just as terrifying as the TT. It's run on the exact same Snaefell mountain course. Same 37.73 miles, same 219 corners, same stone walls, same houses, same trees lining the road with zero forgiveness for a mistake. And because it's the same course, it carries the same risk. The Manx GP has had its own share of fatalities over the years. Here's something most people don't realize. When you hear that 280+ people have died on the mountain course, that number isn't just TT deaths, it's every fatality on that stretch of road. TT races, Manx GP races, and practice sessions combined. The course doesn't care what event is happening on it. If you make a mistake at 37.73 miles of stone walls and blind corners, the outcome is the same no matter whose name is on the race. That's the brutal truth of the Manx Grand Prix. It gave privateers their own stage to prove themselves, but it never gave them a safer one. Third on the list is the Southern 100, completely different in character from the TT and Manx GP. This one runs on the much smaller Billone circuit near Castletown, in the south of the island. Born from a simple need, the race started in 1955. The reasoning was straightforward. The Southern Motorcycle Club felt the island's racing scene was too north-heavy, with everything centered around Andreas Airfield. They wanted the South to have its own race too, so they built one, using the public roads around Castletown. A different kind of dangerous. Here's the twist. The Billone circuit is just 4.25 miles long, a fraction of the mountain course. But don't let the size fool you. Where the big course gives riders long straights to find a rhythm, the Southern 100 throws corner after corner in rapid succession. Tight hedges, narrow roads, almost no time to breathe. Racers call it an edge-of-your-seat race for a reason. The margin for error here is even smaller. It runs every July, and riders who've raced both often say the intensity per second is even higher, a different kind of dangerous, just packed into a much smaller space. Two more races deserve a mention, both built around history itself, not just speed. Classic TT, racing through time, born in 1983, marking the Diamond Jubilee of the Manx Grand Prix, 60 years since that first amateur race in 1923. It runs every August, alongside the Manx GP, but with a completely different flavor. This isn't about the latest superbikes. It's vintage and classic machines, bikes from the 1960s, 70s and 80s, ridden flat out by riders who know full well they're piloting decades-old engineering at genuinely dangerous speeds, on a course that's claimed hundreds of lives. It's part racing, part living history, but the danger is exactly as real as it's always been. Pre-TT Classic, the warm-up before the storm. Before the main TT fortnight even kicks off, there's the Pre-TT Classic, a shorter warm-up race on the same Billone circuit used for the Southern 100. Classic and vintage machines again, giving riders a chance to shake off the rust before the real pressure of TT week begins. Smaller, less famous, but for many, it's the calm before the storm. Together, these two races prove something important. Even decades-old motorcycles, ridden purely out of love for the sport's history, still face the exact same brutal roads that have made the Isle of Man the most dangerous place in motorsport. More than a century has passed since the first race on the Isle of Man. Motorcycles have become faster, riders have become stronger, safety has improved, but one thing has never changed. Every rider who lines up on these roads knows exactly what's waiting ahead. 219 corners, stone walls, blind crests, and almost no margin for error. Whether it's the legendary Isle of Man TT, the Manx Grand Prix, the Southern 100, the Classic TT, or the Pre-TT Classic, they all share the same roads, the same risks, and the same respect for those who came before. For some, these races represent the ultimate test of skill and courage. For others, they're a reminder of the price motorsport can demand. Whatever your opinion, one thing is impossible to deny: there is nowhere else on Earth quite like the Isle of Man. Thanks for watching.